Hands up those who understand the ins and outs of superannuation. Not many, I'll bet. So we should all be happy about the new plan for cheaper, simpler super announced during the week. But for many of my generation of baby boomers, it's a bit late. This year, the first of us reached the official retirement age. By rights, we should be kicking up our heels, or at least putting up our feet. The trouble is, a lot of baby boomers' money was stashed away in shares, and the stock market crash left them reeling. And guess who'll have to pick up the tab? Sorry, kids, it's down to you.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I've got something to say to you.
Forgive me, Delilah, I couldn't take anymore.
If you can sing along to these 60s classics, then you're more than likely a baby boomer.
Woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, talk a while.
All you need is love.
Come on, sing along.
But love won't be enough to make up for the trillions of dollars vanished from the superannuation savings of our 5.5 million baby boomers. That's 1 in 4 of us who are about to retire.
Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
Satirist Chris de Havilland's a baby boomer himself, but in his Canberra cabaret, he turns super losses into laughs with his more than passing resemblance to the recently scuttled one, the one many would like to blame for their superannuation troubles.
If average taxpayers John and Sally contributed 9% of their weekly wage into superannuation since 1992, how long will they be able to live in their retirement drawing only on their savings? About a week, very good. Yes, give that man a bottle and something to read because we just hope he dies by Christmas.
Chris is among those boomers gone bust. He's done his dough and must work forever.
I don't have the luxury of choice of saying I don't have to work, and that's hit a lot of people. And we're baby boomers. We're supposed to be the young, Woodstock, terrific, fun party people, but we look in the mirror and, gee, the hair's going and it's getting a bit silver. We weren't supposed to be old.
Peter Costello was right all along. We're going to have to work till we drop.
That's it, yeah.
Rock and rollers shouldn't be living that long, that's the point. We're always told that you had to have a clean life to live long, but rock and rollers have had drugs and sex and rock and roll is still going, and the only thing they want now is superannuation. It's a bit of a come down.
Former treasurer and superannuation advocate Peter Costello is enjoying retirement from Canberra life. And why wouldn't he? He has a healthy parliamentary pension to keep the wolf from the door.
Look, the baby boomers have been part of the most prosperous generation of Australian history. Lived in bigger houses with more bathrooms and more bedrooms and entertainment sections and multiple cars, and now they're being promised beach holidays with beautiful women and beautiful men. That's what you see in brochures. You won't see that in real life.
This is the MCG and it holds over 100,000 people, and you could fill it every few months with the number of Australian baby boomers who are going into retirement. Now, if you're a taxpayer, that's a huge and ongoing bill just to keep this lot happy. But it's a fair bet that you're the ones who are going to have to pay it, because the baby boomers have a political voice so loud you can hear the chorus all the way back to Canberra. For the generation whose anthem once screamed, "I hope I die before I get old," they're now going for a quite different lyric. The average person approaching retirement has just over $51,000. Nothing like the $500,000 the experts say we'll need to live comfortably.
Loving gives me a thrill, but your lover don't pay the bills. Now give me money.
Somewhere up the coast, retirees Peter and Michelle Cole just want somebody to show them the money, the missing money.
That's what I want.
When we got our first statement and we fell over, and then the last 6 months we've just filed the statements, not looked at them because it was a bit scary.
We were quite comfortable, and then bang.
Now give me money.
That bang was the global financial crisis of 2008. the once-in-a-lifetime event that couldn't have come at a worse time for a generation that really didn't have enough super in the first place. Our baby boomers poured more and more into super, lured by Peter Costello's big tax concessions. How much did you lose?
Basically, on paper, you're looking about 300,000.
Could you afford to lose all that?
With that sort of loss, if it doesn't recuperate, I'm not going to be able to do anything that I really wanted to do, as in big term or big ticket items.
Put on the day, Mr. Pete. Peter is like millions of veteran Australians. They've got their houses and they've got their self-indulgent toys. But for now, they're running on empty, waiting for the latest stock market crisis to play itself out and for the sun to shine again.
It's pretty hard existing on the superannuation, but never mind. We put it away for a wet day and here it is.
Peter Cole's beloved Vintage Car Club and his sedate charity Morning Teas are a far cry from his life as lead singer of the Beethovens in the swinging 60s.
Raffle tickets, the good prizes on the table here. If you haven't got them yet, there's plenty of
Today,
tickets
life
available.
isn't over, but nor is it rocking. At the moment, what you're living is middle-class, genteel financial stringency.
I'm happy with those words. Very good. That's correct.
What can you do? Just don't go forward.
The story's the same at Richard and Lynn Mawson's place on Sydney's northern beaches, but with an added complication. Their son Liam and his wife Sarah have moved back in with the folks to save for their own home. And they've brought with them their little bundles of energy, Ewan and Jaden. It all looks like great fun, but Grandad Richard has had to rethink retirement.
Well, yeah. Well, we heard the news comments and so forth, you know, and then I got a statement through, and I went sick. And to see
Really?
Yeah.
White.
White. I went white, and just to see the amount that had gone down. It all worked, you know.
With 7 kids between them and elderly parents to look after, Richard and Lynn are the
Well, I don't
classic
wanna go
example of Peter Costello's much talked about wedge generation.
Well, I think this is what's happening with increased life expectancy. That now we have generations on both sides, sometimes 4 generations, that are all living together, and you've got this phenomena where people are looking after the old and the young in one generation.
I'll throw this under to you, mate.
At 65, with his super down the gurgler, Richard's had to go back to work. And his son Liam is his new boss.
Luckily, I've picked up a bit of casual work, gone back and doing a bit of that, and with my sons, so I'm picking up a bit of money. It's quite physical work, but they're just letting me play with the levers, so which is makes it easy on me, and it's good to work with your son.
And what's good for the gander is
yeah.
good for Lynn too. She's still working full-time at 60 with no plans to retire yet. Who knows, she may join the 500,000 Australians who say they'll never be able to afford to retire.
No, I thought, I'd probably still be doing some part-time work, but, cutting back a bit, helping looking after grandchildren a bit more, which is what our generation does. But now we do that and look after grandchildren and work.
So was Peter Costello right that we should work till we drop?
No, I didn't say that. No, I don't think so. I think you do it while you're enjoying it and doing it while you've got the body to do it.
Do you feel sorry for those oldies who've had to go back to work? You were the one who said they should work till they drop.
I was the one that said you're going to have to work for many, many more years than you thought.
Till you drop, in
I
fact.
didn't quite say it that way, but that was the message. I think work's a good thing. I think if you're in your 60s and you're in your 70s and you can get even part-time work, I think it'll keep you going.
Into every life, a little rain must fall, even on the New South Wales holiday coast. Hello.
Good afternoon, how you going?
But at the Bella Villa Motel in usually sunny Foster, managers Stan and Margaret Krasimian couldn't be happier since they became masters of their own retirement destiny.
We've got a good deal happening. We've got a $2 hot breakfast.
We just started talking about our super and he said, well, why don't you set up a self-managed super fund? And we went, well, what's that?
The way Margaret tells it takes a long, rainy afternoon. But the short of it was their decision to get their super out of the hands of the big fund managers and invest in property themselves, including the motel. When the stock market went pear-shaped, they stayed in good shape.
We had control over our money, so if we lost it, was our fault.
We thought, you can't beat them, you join them, so we'll have control of our money.
I mean, if you
So
were...
you're small capitalists now.
That's it,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
But
we've
You've
become
joined the
small
system.
Yes,
a capitalist
yes.
socialist.
Working longer and managing their own affairs, this couple reckons has brought them closer together, despite the late nights and the early mornings.
Hurry up, Margaret. We don't want to keep Charles Woolley waiting. I didn't want to move to Foster to run a motel. This is kind of accidental and it worked out okay. We see each other 24/7, 365 days a week, all day,
Margaret,
all night.
how do you cope?
Yeah, how do you cope, Margaret?
I wouldn't have it any other way. We're in control of our lives and we're in control of our future. I don't care how old you are. If you don't ask questions on who is controlling your money and what they're doing with it, you're going to lose it.
We'll be back very shortly with a little more. Thank you.
Back where we started at the Baby Boomer Cabaret.
Thanks very much.
Mate, that was fantastic. I find it a little
thank you.
Chris de Havilland isn't just another oldie refusing to give up the limelight until they get chucked out, that is. No, like so many other disgruntled superannuants, Chris is working because he has to.
No. And it's not fun if you're really not young enough to be able to do what you could do, and you'd rather be out there playing with kids or grandchildren now.
The new generation of earners are said to be the big winners from this week's raft of superannuation changes proposed by the federal government. But it's all a long way off, and perhaps youngsters like Sarah and Liam, who've watched their parents suffer, will be more careful about putting all of their retirement nest egg into anyone's super scheme.
It has made us kind of think probably slightly differently to how we always did. I think it made us think a little bit at this time about possibly, not putting so much extra into it as we were at one point for now, and maybe looking in the future at other avenues.
But for Sarah's generation, not far down that other avenue is the frightening prospect of their impoverished baby boomer oldies with their hands out.
I'll have to put my hand up and say, well, it's your turn now to help me out a little bit.
I think there'll be a bit of financial abuse against young people in terms of higher taxes, and the beneficiaries of that will be the baby boomers.
Will the younger people be willing to do that?
The younger people won't be willing. This will set up generational conflicts.
It mightn't be safe for old people to be seen in the street.
If I were you, I'd buy not only a Zimmer frame, but a hard hat to go with it.
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for our brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.